right, so today we are going to learn how to use Calendly, and this is an amazing tool for scheduling. You can even take payments for different appointments. It's overall great to use, easy to use, so I'm going to show you how. So this is the main screen. You can see event types I have here and scheduled events here. If I go to event types, right here is my scheduling link. So this is kind of like a landing page, and you can choose to have appointments show up on here or not. So right now, these are the appointment types that I have that show up on my main scheduling link. But as you can see, some of them do not show up on my scheduling page. So you can see this I means it's hidden. So that will not show up on my main scheduling page. So if I want to create an event, I come right here and select new event type. And I can either do a one-on-one or a group. So a group might be good if you have a group program or you are doing a workshop with a bunch of different people, so you can schedule that event for everybody. So one-on-one is what I usually create. Let's create one now. So the event name, this will show up when someone goes to book it. So you'll want to put what it actually is. You can add the location here, and I usually do Zoom, but you can see you have different options here. And if you do use Zoom, you will need to integrate your Zoom account with this. Here you can give instructions for what they need to do. So make sure to bring your action list. And down here, you can create your own link for this. So right now it's automatically doing this with test at the end because test is what I named the event. And you can also select a color to help you differentiate between the different events that you have. So after you complete this, you can click next. And you'll see this is the next step. So this is the schedule section. When can people book this event? You can choose the duration. So right here, or you can create a custom time. You can select the date range. So this will show up when someone goes to schedule that they will be able to see 60 days on your schedule. You can select the time zone. Your availability is right here, which is also very important. You'll want to make sure that you can meet with people when you're available. So I'm going to click on here, and you can see here I can set the time. So if I want to do, let's say 9 to 11 a.m., and then I can't meet around noon, so I'm going to do a new interval and do 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. And this is in Eastern, so I have to set that up accordingly. Now it will, if someone is in a different time zone than you, it'll automatically convert that time for them. So they will see the time on whatever their time zone is. So it works out really well. You can also put I'm unavailable. So you're not available at all that day. But for now, we're just going to leave it like this. Okay, so what you can do down here is apply it to only this day, apply it to all Mondays, or if you want to apply this to every day, let's say, or specific days, you can select which ones you want here. Okay, so now you can see my calendar shows this is the only time I'm available, Monday through Friday. So right here is where you can make this secret. So you can hide it from your main Calendly page. And I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so it looks like everything is set there. Right here, you can actually copy availability from another calendar that you already have, which is really helpful. I use this a lot. So if I already have a schedule that's set up, instead of having to redo everything, I could just clone it. So I'm going to see what happens when I do that. Okay, you can see the big difference here. So the times for each day change. Friday, I don't have any appointments. So once you're happy with this, you can click next. And now you're ready to accept events. So that's the link. When someone goes to this link, they will see what you just set up. So super cool. Right here, if they click on a day, they can choose a time slot. They can confirm it. And then they will have this form that is already set up before you do anything. But you might want to change this, right? So let's go back. Right here is where you can change the questions that you want them to fill out. So if you click on this, you can see name and email already there. That's pretty important. So I'm leaving that right here. If you don't want this text, you can click on that pencil and you can change it. You can also turn that off so it wouldn't show up. And you can make it required if you would like. You can even change it. Instead of having multiple lines where they can write text, you can do these different options. So a checkbox, you can fill in different answers and apply it. So you might want to have a checkbox. And you can add more questions, of course. So let's say, what is your website? I like to include that a lot. And that would probably just be one line, so I can leave it like that. You can move questions around just like this. And when you're happy with that, you can save and close. All right, down here on notifications and cancellation policy, you can edit this. So you can do a calendar invitation, which will create an event on your calendar, and it will also invite your attendee to accept the event. So right here, you can see how this is set up. These merge tags are already there. I wouldn't mess with that. But what you could do if you wanted to is switch to email confirmations. And here is where you can edit what you want it to say. So for example, you could say, thank you for booking a session with me. Before our session, make sure you do this, this, and this. And I will see you at the event time on event date. And you can edit this as much as you want. So I'm going to leave this right now because I like having those merge tags in there. All right, next. All right, down here we have email cancellations. So if you click on personalize, you can see what the messages will look like if someone cancels the event. For example, it will say test appointment with Jessica Shuva on June 22nd has been canceled. Hi, first name or full name. Your test appointment with Jessica Shuva at 1 o'clock on June 22nd has been canceled. Okay, so you also have email reminders you can set up. So if you want to send reminders before the appointment, you can set that up here. You can change any of this text you want. You can change the timing. You can add a second one. Let's say you want one 24 hours before, but you also want one 1 hour before. So you can add that there. If I go down, you can see an email follow-up. So this is after you have your meeting, you can send an email to follow up with them. Maybe ask questions. How did your meeting go? Do you have any suggestions for improvement? Things like that. Or if you're a virtual assistant, you might want to have a follow-up email that says, thank you so much for meeting with me. It was a pleasure to chat with you. So here is where you can edit this, edit the subject, body, and you can select the timing. How long do you want it to go out after your meeting? And here you can use a no reply email address if you want to. You can even set up text reminders, which is pretty cool. So let's look at this. So right here, they can have the option of receiving a text. So in this case, they will need to input their phone number in that form they fill out when booking. And right here, again, you can change the timing. And if you want to add a cancellation policy, you can do that. Let's say if you cancel your meeting, you will get a chance to reschedule, but not for another week. Or if you have a payment, you can say there's no refund if you cancel your appointment. Okay. So confirmation page is displayed after the meeting is set up. So right here you can see if you want them to be sent to the Calendly confirmation page or an external site. You might want to have a thank you page on your website. So I'm going to leave that as is. Okay, and last but not least, we have collect payments. So if you click on this, you can decide if you want to collect payments for an event or not. And I am going to, so let's say it's going to be $35. Payment terms, you can see here, you can let them know what the terms of the payment are, whether you will refund them if there's, an emergency or whatnot. Or you can say non-refundable. Okay, so save and close, and that's it. So my event is set up. If I go back, I can see that here. If I want to preview it, I can click View Live Page. And there it is. Pretty cool. So lastly, if you want to integrate this with, let's say, your Google Calendar, or if you're taking payments, you need to integrate it with PayPal or Stripe, you'll come here to integrations. So here are the different integrations you'll want to make if you want to connect with Zoom or PayPal or any of these other ones. You can go in and integrate those. And then as far as your account, you will definitely want to add a picture, a welcome message. This will show up on that main Calendly page, your scheduling page. And you can save those changes. You can do your branding. You can add your logo. You can edit your link. And there you go. So down here, you'll want to make sure you do calendar connections as well. This is what's going to help you see when you have appointment types. It'll show up on your calendar. So super important. And also, if you add things to your calendar, they will not show up on your scheduling page. So those times will be blocked out. So it's super important that you keep up with those. So you can see here that I have configured my Google account, and it will also check for conflicts, which is really cool. And you can add things to your calendar. So that is the gist of Calendly. It's pretty simple. And this is the paid version. The free version does not let you connect with Zoom, but there is a workaround for that. You can just add your Zoom link into the description of the call. So for example, down here where it says, what event is this client call? In this description, you can add your Zoom link. So you can type out, this will be the link to our call, and paste your link in there instead of integrating it right here. Another thing you can't do with a free Calendly is set up payments. And you also can only have one event type, which means that if you have multiple events, you would have to turn them all off. So you can do that by clicking right here and turning this off or on. You can only have one if you have the free version. Some really cool things you can also do with Calendly is add it to your website. You can embed it, which inline embed is really cool because it'll show up right on your web page. People can actually schedule from your web page. And the pop-up widget is really neat too, because it'll float up and down the page with people on the side there. You can edit the colors, the text, and everything. And then there's also a pop-up that you can create. So these are pretty simple. You just embed a code on your site. And depending on your site, they have directions on how to do that here. But it's not too difficult. you probably just need to embed it into a code block. Right here is where you can change the text and the color. And there as well. So great features. I definitely recommend Calendly. I love it. It makes my life so much easier. If you guys have any questions about Calendly, let me know.